What's up in the book? Next. 5 potential franchise-altering blockbuster trades this offseason. They do not all involve the Yankees. They involve other teams as well. So, but these are obviously based on need and just pure insanity and aggressive moves and teams that are budding contenders, wanting to be contenders, and so on, and fit as well. So let's get into it, and you let me know what you think. And by the way, if you like stuff like this, because my next video after this is going to be 3 realistic trades and 3 completely insane trades for the New York Yankees. Okay? If you like stuff like this, and I have a bunch more coming, hit that subscribe button right now and hit the notification so you don't miss them. Okay? And you won't miss them. These come out during the day. I do my live streams at night. We put this all together and we have a lot of fun. So with that, let's get to this. Number 1 is between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Seattle Mariners. Okay? The 2 unsexiest teams in baseball. But in this trade, Pittsburgh sends Brian Reynolds, the super utility guy, 2020. He's not a free agent until 2026, and starting pitcher JT Brubaker, who's also not a free agent until 2026. They're sending 2 very affordable, controllable players over to the Seattle Mariners for Noelvi Marte, who's their number 2 prospect, a shortstop. Emerson Hancock, their number 4 prospect, a right-handed pitcher. Zach DeLoach, their number 6 prospect, an outfielder. And Adam Macko, their number 12 prospect, the left-handed pitcher. So they're getting 3 top 10 prospects, okay, and another pitching prospect. So all in all, 2 pitching prospects, 2 position prospects. It might even cost more than this because Brian Reynolds himself might cost 3 to 4 prospects. But you're sending 2 controllable players and affordable players over to Seattle, which could use more controllable players. And Brian Reynolds would be a perfect fit. You have him out there with Jared Kelenic and even Kyle Lewis and guys like that. Oh my God! Which also gives them, the opportunity to move Julio Rodriguez, who's their number 1 prospect, who's also the number 2 prospect in all of baseball, who's an outfielder, in a trade for a potential frontline pitcher. So it's something to think about too. And obviously they're getting a controllable starting pitcher too here. So this could be a huge trade. And obviously Pittsburgh gets back very close to major leagues. Positional depth, prospect depth, which they always need, and Seattle gets the two impact players pretty much immediately since they're budding contenders now. So that's trade number 1. Trade number 2 involves the Cincinnati Reds and the Los Angeles Angels. Now these teams have history before, so in this trade they send Amir Garrett, super reliever, not a free agent until 2024, and Big Daddy Sonny Gray, who's also not a free agent until 2024, over to the Los Angeles Angels for Joe Adell. Okay, and the reason why I say Joe Adell is because Jordan Adams, their top outfield prospect, is very, very close, and he can step in to replace Joe Adell, unless they include Jordan Adams in the trade instead of Adell. Also, Jeremiah Jackson, who's their number 5 prospect, a shortstop, and Kai Bush, their number 7 prospect, a left-handed pitcher. Yes, 3 top 10 prospects. You're not going to get an elite reliever and a controllable starter for less than 3 top 10s. Okay. Very, very unlikely to let you do anywhere. So, and again, not giving up their number 1 prospect, not even giving up their number 2 prospect. So, Joe Adell, who was the number 1 prospect in baseball, would switch hands. Otherwise, it's Jordan Adams, who I think is their number 3 prospect. So, one of those guys, a pitcher and a shortstop. And their shortstop situation hasn't been resolved yet. So, they could use these players. Cincinnati and, again, Los Angeles Angels have a desperate need for pitching. So starting and relief, this addresses that for them, and but kind of helps balance things out because their offense is light years ahead of their pitching. So this addresses that. Okay. Number 3 is between the Chicago Cubs and the Washington Nationals. Chicago Cubs send catcher Wilson Contreras, who's a free agent 2023, and Kyle Hendricks, starting pitcher, their ace, who's not a free agent until 2024, over to Washington for Andrew Lara, their number 4 prospect, a right-handed pitcher. Armando Cruz, their number 5 prospect, a shortstop. And Matt Cronin, their number 12 prospect, a left-handed pitcher. Okay, so again, controllable players from the Chicago White Sox on affordable contracts. Okay, now he might be the top pitcher in Chicago, but it doesn't mean he's an ace level ace. So he wouldn't be a number 1 on a lot of teams, but he'll still cost, which is why the prospect package is not 3 top 10s, it's 2 top 10s and a 12. And they're getting Wilson Contreras, who has 1 more year of control, who's a free agent. But I think he could make a lot of rotations and bullpens better, which I think him and the Nationals would be a fit. with Patrick, Corbin and Strasburg when he comes back from, and even Josiah Gray, who they got in the Josiah Gray, who they got in the Max Scherzer trade. So this to me addresses needs for both sides too. Again, getting some more veteran presence over in Washington, and still clearing off payroll in Chicago while getting a lot of prospects in return. Their farm is decimated, so this addresses needs on both sides. Number 4, this one's a big one, between the Cleveland Indians and the Toronto Blue Jays. Yeah, Cleveland Indians, I think their rebuild is accelerating a little bit faster than I thought they would, but they would be sending Jose Ramirez, superstar, not a free agent until 2024, and Shane Bieber, one of their top pitchers, not a free agent until 2025, over to the Toronto Blue Jays, who have a stacked farm system. They would in return send Kevin Biggio, who's already made the majors. He's not a free agent until 2026. Okay. Also, Orelvis Martinez, a number 2 prospect, who's a third base / shortstop. Gunnar Hoglund, who's a number 4 prospect, a right-handed pitcher. Estevan Machado, who's a number 8 prospect, a combo second base and shortstop prospect. And Sem Roberts, who's their number 12 prospect, a right-handed pitcher. So 3 top 10s, okay, and a major league ready pitcher. A major league ready position player over, and a number 12 prospect over to Cleveland for a superstar player, a controllable superstar player, and a frontline starting pitcher. That's the cost. What the cost would be for 2 guys like that, especially ones that are under control and they need another pitcher. Okay, and Jose Ramirez can be, he could be lights out over in Toronto. Add him to that lineup with Guerrero and Bichette and all these other guys. Oh, God. And if they bring back Simeon, if they don't bring back Simeon, then this makes even more sense, this trade. But this right here would be a boost to both sides. This would really make both teams better. And obviously there would need to be a counter move, which is why I've included the New York Yankees in the last trade. Because if Toronto makes a trade like that, good God. So this trade involves the Yankees and the Dodgers. This isn't as wacky as the other one, but it's still pretty significant. The Dodgers, they send Gavin Lux, okay, who's a very controllable player. He's not a free agent until, I think, 2026. And Landon Knack was their number 8 prospect, a right-handed pitcher, over to the Yankees for Chad Green. He's under control until 2024. Oswald Peraz, their number 3 prospect, a shortstop. He's probably the expendable shortstop prospect that they have, because he's not ahead of Anthony Volpe. And there's a couple of other prospects who I think could surpass him too. But this kid is major league ready, which is why he'd be a good spot to go over to the Los Angeles Dodgers, especially if they move Lux, and who knows what's gonna happen with Trey Turner. But obviously Corey Seager is going to be likely leaving, so this gives them somebody they can plug in who's not going to cost $200 million, so that they can add to their infield mix. And Aroldis Chapman is included in this trade, with the Yankees eating maybe $5 million of his contract. Another frontline reliever to the Dodgers as well. So, and he won't have to be the closer there. So again, Gavin Lux and Landon Knack over to the Yankees. Who's a number 8 prospect, a right-handed pitcher for Chad Green, Oswald Peraza, Aroldis Chapman. That's another pretty good blockbuster trade to me for the Yankees. It's not as significant as the Cleveland-Toronto one. That's a really hard one to do, but it's still a big trade. So you let me know what you think of this one, okay? And like I said, my next video, 3 realistic and 3 completely insane trades for the Yankees. Talk to you then.